Hello, friends, and welcome to my first ever video tutorial project thing. I'm so excited. Let me introduce myself for you guys that don't know. My name is Colleen, and I have been guest designing and working alongside the Gemstone Orphanage now for a couple months. And I will sometimes also help out with the auction. So you might have seen me over on YouTube moderating. And I also moderate in the Facebook group. So hello and greetings. Here we are together finally at last. Okay, guys, so today I'm super excited to bring you, like I said, my first ever little video. And we are going to be working with these components from the Firecracker box, the tween box that was just released. So you're going to need those, and you're also going to need some stars. Now, this is the cool thing. You can pick out, you can totally make these customizable. So for my project, you can pick out whatever stars, and then also whatever of the little small beads that you like. You're going to need 2 eye pins. I have 3 here just in case, because you never know. You're going to also need 2 ball head pins or regular head pins, whatever kind of head pins you like. You also need some jump rings. What I have here are 2 8mm jump rings. And I think that is all we were going to need as far as components. Now, what I love about these kind of components are, these are so versatile in that you can just literally, they came like this on a jump ring. You could just, slap an ear wire and that's a gorgeous pair of earrings. Or you could also, if you're super fancy like Miss Debby, you can cut the leather into different shapes. I don't know if you guys saw the tween unboxing, but Miss Debby had made these into different shapes, and they kind of look like little flames, and they were just wild, man. So you could do so much with these. I'm going to keep them like this, but I am going to fancy them up just a little bit. So what I'm really excited to show you guys is my little fancy dancy, and I know a lot of you guys probably make your own ear wires, and these are not by any stretch of the means, like, super duper fancy, but I made these little ear wires because I figured even if you just put little ear wires on there that you made, that already takes that up a level of like personalization. Like, okay, it's not just the leather. Now you made the little things, and then we can also hang some little dangles here. You can use the charms that came in the box. You could use whatever you want. So we can just hang a little thing and then make cute little ear wires. And guys, this is the best part. I made these with eye pins. So you can make these, and they're super fast, super easy. And who doesn't love a homemade ear wire? Like, it just makes that project a tiny bit more elevated, so just a fun way to really bring these guys alive. So first, what we are going to do is we are going to put our stars on our little ball head pins, and some tools you will need. You will need your round nose pliers. You will also need a cutter tool. It's so funny, guys, I have to say, because I have another project in mind, and it's a bracelet that has a ton of beads but only 2 tools, and then this project has just a couple beads but a ton of tools. Okay, you're also going to need chain nose pliers, whatever kind you like. If you have a pair of chain nose pliers that have this little thin tapered end, that would be really useful. And I think that is it. Also, if you're going to need a straightened wire, you can have one of these handy dandy dudes. And then there's many more tools. There's levels of tools for this project, but we will get to those. But don't be scared. Don't be scared, because I promise you, it is not a difficult project. Okay. So let's get our stars on here. I like to kind of put the stars like this, so you got the point at the top. And then we're just going to make a little simple wrap loop. Sometimes I will use my round nose pliers for that, but because I'm doing a fancy tutorial, I probably should use we're going to use our regular pliers because I don't want to get in trouble. So, because I want to do the right things, maybe we'll use these because I don't want a huge wrapped loop. So if you're new, if you use the thinner part of this instead of the thicker part, you'll have less wire wraps. And then the thicker you go up, of course, you'll have more wire wraps, which will make your bead a little bit longer, which is fine if that's what you want. So now you want to go ahead and you want to bend this over, get your round nose pliers, wrap them over the mandrel, flip your hand around, however you do that. That's how I do it. Bring it up. And then this is a thinner wire, so I'm just going to go ahead and finger wrap it. And it can be messy, whatever you want to do. Listen, there's no rules in jewelry making. That's not the prettiest loop, but that's okay. I'm all right with it. I'm going to go ahead and take your little, cut your little end there. I forgot to get a little trash receptacle. Oh, I'll just use this. Because I'm really super retentive about scraps. Then you're just going to take your pliers and you're going to press that in. Find the little guy poking out and press him in. Perfect. Okay, so there's your first one. Super easy. Sometimes I'd take longer finding the hole, but that's okay. Again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it about the same spot, right? Bend that over to a 90-degree angle, and we're going to get our round nose pliers, put them in there, and make sure you try to, keep the loops, the integrity of the loops the same. And it might get like, sometimes I get a little crazy with mine, like they go a little off center. You can fix it, not a problem. Like that. See how that's kind of off center? Just snap it up a little, bring it down, and it's kind of better. And if it's not perfect, who cares? And I just finger wrap that. Now, because this is a thinner wire, I can get away with that. But if it was a thicker wire, you might want to use your pliers. All right, so that's all done. That was super simple, right? So we have our jump rings. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get, I like to use my bent chain nose pliers when I open and close jump rings. So I'm going to go ahead and get this jump ring. And this is an 8mm jump ring. And these are actually stainless steel. So these jump rings mean business. They're not going anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and just put this through the leather. One at a time or all at once if you want. Completely up to you. But I've made these earrings a couple times, so I'm trying to just be really careful with that leather. Because these are actually going to somebody. They're going to go live with somebody else after this is over. So I want to make sure I keep them together. And they're as beautiful as they were when I got them. So when you're opening your jump rings, guys, you want to do that twist like this. You never want to pull them apart. You just want to twist. Because once you pull them apart, good luck getting them back together. So again, we're just going to go ahead and put our leathers on. And some of you guys, if you guys have crickets, you can actually make these leather components. So you could just go crazy, right? You could make them for every season. Where is your hole, bro? You could make them for like every season, every color to match everything in your closet. Like really, of all the things, I thought it was going to be the wrap loops, but no. It's the simple leather that's giving me the issue. Okay. I think my jump ring's not open enough. So yeah, but you could get real fancy. Make all kinds of leather earrings. Just get insane with it. Okay, I'm not closing these on purpose because there's more to come. So, but you can go ahead and also put your stars on now. So you're just going to want to make sure they are facing the right way. And you just want to slide that right on there. Keeping that together. Right? Or you could wait till the end, but I'm just going to do this so we don't lose them. And also, did I mention 90 million times this is my first ever tutorial, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, so we're going to put those aside, and then I'm going to show you the fun stuff, because that's what you're here for. All right, fun stuff, fun stuff. So these are the ear wires that I made originally. And I also, my original sample, I don't know if you guys saw the pictures. Look, the star fell off already. But I used the clear stars, and they didn't really show up very well. So that's why we're switching the colors out, because, yeah, those colors were just not good. Okay. So this is a fun little tip, little trick that I love to make ear wires. I think that they just make earrings so special, right? They just bring a elevated level of sophistication, if you will. And I don't always make my own ear wires. I do also use purchased ear wires, but it's just a little fun thing to do. And these eye pin ear wires are super duper easy. Okay, so you're gonna want to make sure you have straight ear wires. Now, I mean straight eye pins. These eye pins are super rigid, so I really don't need to work hard on these too much. So if you have like really rigid eye pins that are long, I think these are 2 inches. They might be 3. But if you have super rigid eye pins that you don't really like to work with, that's perfect for this project, because then you don't have to work hard on so much. All right, so now, and another cool thing with this project is we can change the direction of how your ear wire is going to hang. So typically your ear wire would look like this, right? It would go this way. And then, so if we were to do that, that's going the same way as the jump ring. So now we would have to add another jump ring in between to kind of make that differential so it hangs properly. But with this trick, you can change, you can do it this direction, or you can do it that direction, depending on what your directional needs are. So if we do it this way, that hooks right onto that jump ring, and then we don't need a secondary jump ring. So, because like these are already kind of lengthy as it is, we don't need to be adding more length, is what I'm trying to say. So now there are also different ways that you can do this loop. I'm going to do this using my regular bill making pliers, which are these fellas right here. You might have some bail making pliers that look like this. These are also good too, because these have a nice mandrel, that's a nice thick mandrel that you could make your loop with. You can also use something like this. And I made examples using all these things, which I will show you after I'm done this. You can also use a Sharpie if you don't have. You can use wooden dowels. You can use basically whatever you can that would turn this around. So I'm going to use the biggest mandrel, which is this guy. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put this in the direction you want. So we want it to go this way. You're going to put the bead right up to that mandrel, and then you're just going to hold it, and you're going to twist your mandrel like this until you feel the wire hit the loop, and then you're going to take it off. And that's what you're going to have. You're going to have like this little shepherd hook dude. So now what we're going to do is, and I like to do this with either these real skinny pliers, or I like to do it with my round nose pliers. Whatever you have that has kind of a thin tip. Well, first let's cut it. No, let's do the tip first. I'm always confused which one I should do first. So for this, this is going to lock this bead in, because if you don't lock the bead in, he's going to slide up and down. So we just want to lock him in there. So you're going to take the very tip of your thinnest pliers or your round nose pliers. You're going to hold this steady, and then you're just going to flick your wrist up and turn it a little bit. So now that's going to lock that bead in place. There's a little bit of a gap here. Sometimes you'll get that you want to try to get as close to the bead as possible with the thinnest part of your pliers, and that will lessen that gap. That's kind of a big gap, but I've already started this video, so we're just going to continue. So then you can go ahead and then make re-push your earrings in, because they are going to get a little wonky after you make that. So for this one, I'm going to push this down, and then we're going to cut it. And how I like to measure these so you get the same cut every time is you're just going to put this up here until your cutters hit that loop, right? That's where your cut's going to be. And so if you do it that way for all of the earrings, that's a good way to measure. And then we also are going to take our pliers. This is a bad bet, guys. Don't do as I do. Do as I say, but not as I do. That would irk my soul. I would have to redo these because I'm retentive. And you're going to go ahead and take your pliers to the very tip, and you're just going to turn this up like that. So you have that little hook, and then you can open this up a little bit So there's your ear wire. Super, super easy, super easy, super customizable. You can use whatever beads, smaller. You can use some of the bigger beads. I wouldn't probably do bigger than 6mm for something like this. I mean, you could if you're doing maybe a different kind of design, but yeah. So, but we're not done yet. So there are some other things, but I also did want to show you these other examples. So here's my block. So here's some other examples just by using a different mandrel. So you can have more of this hook shape, and we got this shape by using this guy. And you can use, like, this is several different sizes, so you don't have to have such an exaggerated loop if you don't want, or you can. So that was using that. And then this guy, and you see I put on some, like, 2 beads here, and see how that's just long and dramatic. What did I use for this one? Let me think about that. This, I used the Sharpie, or maybe this was the Sharpie. Yeah, this one was the Sharpie. That one I used the Sharpie, and I left, instead of, like, I left it long. So see how that's long and elegant. And then this one, yeah, these two I made with the bail making pliers, but this one I just did a little different, you know, just a little different. So there's all different styles that you can make, and they're just fun and super quick, you know. So let's do that again. Oh wait, I just made this one. That's why I was confused. Yeah. So this is the cone. What is this? This one here. Beadline also makes one. That was using that. This one was using the Sharpie, and then these were using the step bail making pliers. This guy here. All right. So you can work hard in, like I said, I don't really necessarily need to work hard in these because these are really, really rigid, but you can. And guys, please don't make fun of my nylon hammer. You know what I mean? Look at it. It looks like a doctor's tool, doesn't it? Like, I feel like I should be testing somebody's reflexes. So you get your block, and then you hold it here, and you kind of just go around and work hard in that. Do both sides. Do all the things. Tap, tap, tap. Guys, if you don't have a nylon hammer and you just have a chasing hammer, you can also do that with the flat side, but gentle, tiny taps. Gentle, tiny taps. Gentle, tiny taps, okay? Gentle, tiny taps. Gentle, tiny taps. And then you'll work hard on that. And so what that will do is that will cause your, like, look how sturdy this is. That's not going anywhere. All right, so let's make one more so we can have our pair complete. So let's move this out of the way. I have so many tools on my desk right now. It's insane. So we're going to go ahead and put our little bead on. Like I said, finding the hole sometimes is the hardest part. And I'm going to get our bail making pliers. And you want the biggest mandrel. Or not the biggest mandrel. But I think if you were to use a smaller mandrel, they might be too small. But if you're making something really, really dainty, that might work. Okay, bead is pressed up against the mandrel, and we are just going to twist our wrist while pushing the wire down. Pressure with the wire down, and then you get the shepherd's hook. Right? And did we cut first, or did we not cut first? No, I think we did I'm going to use this, because I think I used my other pliers before. And then we're going to make our bend. So to make our bend, we hold it securely, and we put our teeniest part of the pliers there, and we just wrist up, and that one's locked in. You just want to make sure your bead is locked in. Like I said, you might get some little annoying space in there, and I'm sure there's probably tips on how to fix that, but I just recently discovered this little eye pin trick, so I'm still developing it, I guess you would say. Okay, now push that back down, because that will distort that a little bit. And we're going to go ahead and take our cutters, and remember our trick, our measuring trick. If I can hold it properly, we're going to take where our cutters hit that loop, cut. And that will always be, you know, a good point of reference. And we're going to take our tippies and tip it up. Guys, if I'm not making sense, I apologize. I'm super anxious. And I'm also naturally really, really goofy by nature. Like, really goofy. I had shot a video before this introducing myself. Why do they look different? Oh, this one got a little, okay. Sometimes this will happen. You just twist it over, and that should fix that. I was just make sure and just open them up a little bit so they look the same. And I think they look pretty good. This one might. And you can also put them back on the ply. I think this one just a little bit. And I think that looks great. Now, here's the really important part. Oh, I was telling you guys, I had shot a video. I had shot a front-facing video first and kind of gave myself an introduction so you would have a face to go with the hands. But I don't know. I did something and I dropped my phone and I don't know what happened to it. So, I don't know. This is the most important part, friends. So, these little edges here, you need to file these little tips down. Because since we've cut the wire, and I think I would even do it if you didn't cut the wire. If you had like eye pins that were almost the right length and you didn't have to cut, I would still follow through with this part. Because there's little shards of metal in here that can cause infections in your ears. So this is a handy thing from Beadalon that I absolutely love. This is a battery operated reamer with a burr tip. So the burr cup tip you have to buy separately. I think I did anyway. I didn't find any that came with this. It's usually just the reamer and then you buy the burr cup. But I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. I used to use a nail file for this, which you can perfectly fine. But I hated doing that. So this little tool is super cool. And also you can get one that is not battery operated. This is just a manual burr cup. So what this is, you would put the little cup in there, and it's like a little file in there. You can't see it, and you just kind of put it in there and just do all this kind of stuff and grind that down, and you're rounding it out. So there's no sharp pieces to pokey, and there's no, yeah. But I liked it. I prefer this method because I'm a little on the lazy side. I mean, work smarter, not harder. Isn't that what it should be? So again, you put this on there, but then you hit the button and you kind of, I still do this, but it kind of does the work for you. And then just and then sometimes just do a little like up here and down here. Just round that out really nice. Touch it from time to time. Make sure there's no sharp pieces and bits. And you're just, yeah, smoothing it out. So there's not going to be any infections. There's not going to be any, people complaining if you're selling your jewelry. You gave me heebie-jeebie in my ears. It's not going to happen. You just got to take a couple little extra steps. Not a big deal. And like I said, you can do this with a nail file. You can do this with, a Dremel. If you have a burr cup on your Dremel, you can also do that. But I really dig this little battery-powered dude. He's just so cool and makes my life easy. Yeah. So, yeah, that's good. Looking good. See, I don't know if you can see, but that's nice and, oh, there you are. That's nice and rounded. See how that's nice? No jagged edges. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to take our Bobo. Can you not? Thank you. Bobo is a lot of you know Bobo. He's my orange fluffy cat. He's now on top of my desk, but he's not as heavy as Oliver, and he's very like calm. He'll just sit there and just watch, where Oliver's got to be doing stuff constantly. So here's the cool part, right? So since we made our direction going this way, this is just going to slip right on. Where are my pliers? So yeah, let me just go ahead and get my fat fingers out of the way. Slip this guy on. We're going to get our pliers. And where are my other pliers? I got 5 million pliers on my desk. I'm going to learn and get better from this. So we're going to go ahead and close that loop. So side to side, and kind of see how I kind of like find that, overcorrect it, and then bring it back. And then I like to squeeze it together and to make sure there's no gaps there. And yeah, so there you go. Look at that. Look how cute. All right. Look, this one fell apart too. Man, I'll get better, guys. I promise. Okay. And of course, I have there's literally cat hair everywhere. I'm so embarrassed. But not that embarrassed because I love my cats. And sometimes when I sell things, people get extra cat glitter. And I don't charge, I don't charge any extra for it. It's completely free. And guys, you can also open these, but I figured since I already had this dude open, why compromise that loop? You don't have to do that. That's just going a little extra. If you already got the jump ring open, slide it on there. No problems. Okay. Side to side, that's how we do it. The side to side shuffle, we're going to call that the jump ring shuffle. And I'm really, I know I've said retentive quite often, but I'm a little retentive. And sometimes I will even take my skinny pliers and I'll come up here and I'll just do a little tiny squeeze, make sure that's close. I can't even feel anything there. But these are stainless steel jump rings. So guys, I love stainless steel jump rings. They're so strong. Here we are. Here's our complete earrings with our handmade ear wires and our little stars. And like I said, totally customizable. You can use any of the beads. You can do 2 beads. You can do the bicones, whatever beads you want to do to make your ear wires. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get more customizable than that. You can do your charms. You can do whatever color star you want. So I hope that was... I hope you guys had fun with me today, and I appreciate you so much for joining me on my first ever jewelry making video. And I hope that Mr. and Mrs. Caldwell enjoy this as well. So yeah, I'm super proud of myself, guys. That's awesome. See you soon, friends. Bye.